Hello and welcome back to another video. My name is Keisha, but you can call me Kay. And today's video is going to be my 5 tips on how to get your modeling career started. Of course, there are plenty of other things that you can do to get started, but I do think that these 5 tips will kind of just help you get things going. Towards the end of the video, I have a couple of special tips, so you definitely have to watch it all the way through. Don't try to cheat. So if you are interested in starting your modeling career, then let's get into the video. So I do have my tips on my phone, so if you see me glance down occasionally, then I just wanted to make sure I had everything on point for you guys. But my first tip is going to be about self-care. So of course we know that self-care is important, but definitely because you're going to be in front of the camera, you want to be sure that you're doing the best that you can when it comes to your skincare, and then of course your nails. There are so many times that I get complimented on the fact that I have my nails done for shoots. It can be a real pain for photographers to have to go in and try to edit how your nails look. So I always make sure that I'm keeping up on top of like having a manicure done. Even if you're not doing fake nails or anything like that, that's completely fine. But you definitely want to just be sure that they're cleaned up. And then of course with your skin, and okay, so obviously, you know, there's some people that are going to have maybe skin issues. Not everybody is the same, right? But you do want to just do your best to try to take care of that, because it's just much easier when you can come in with, you know, maybe clear skin, or you can at least see that you are trying to work on it. Then it kind of alleviates the photographer having to go back in afterwards and do a bunch of editing. The second tip that I have for you is going to be to take a class. So I do think that it's important to pick up some new activities, new hobbies maybe, especially because they can translate onto camera. So with the agency that I'm signed to, of course they always ask like what skills you have, and it's always really wild stuff sometimes, like if you can horseback ride, or I was reached out to about a photo shoot where they asked me if I could ride a motorcycle, and of course I can't, but in my mind I was like, well, 1, it would be fun to learn, and then 2, that is something that I can put on my resume as a skill that I have, so that if any other job was to come up and they happen to need somebody to be able to ride a motorcycle, then me, out of maybe all of the rest of the girls on the board or whoever, you know, by having that skill, it gives you kind of a 1-up. So it doesn't necessarily have to be that, of course. It could be as simple as taking a yoga class, or I don't know, even a painting class, or just anything, but it all again translates to on camera, and it just gives you the opportunity for bigger opportunities to come up. For my third tip, it is do your research. So of course if you clicked on this video, then you're already a step ahead, just by doing your research on what to do to get started. But I would definitely recommend doing your research when it comes to different agencies that may be in your area. They always have like a casting area on their website where it'll tell you what it is that they're looking for when they want you to submit. And then you can always go to different websites, like, I don't know if this one particular website is still a thing. So when I first got started, I utilized Model Mayhem a lot, and it's basically like Facebook but for models, actors, actresses, where you can find gigs on there, you can find castings on there, and then you can upload your own pictures. And so it was a really good tool that I utilized at the beginning of my career, and then later down the line I kind of stumbled across models.com, and on that website it shows you like who the model of the year is, and you can really get into seeing what's going on in the industry. You can look up different agencies on there, so if you're not even sure what agencies are reputable, you can definitely go onto that website, and they have a list of like all the agencies that are, you know, like the top-notch ones, or the ones that are actually legit. So if you stumble across somebody that is reaching out to you claiming to be an agency and you're not so sure, then you can always check them out and see if they're listed on there. Or you can just go to that website. You know, they have makeup artists on there, they have photographers. There's a wide range of things that you can get into on models.com. It's a website that I still like to utilize, again, just to kind of see what's going on in the industry, who are the new pop-in models that are out. So yeah, I definitely think that that's a really good one to utilize. My fourth tip is going to be to practice. So I cannot say it enough that you definitely want to get in front of the mirror, make sure you're practicing your poses, make sure you're practicing movements. You want to know how you're coming across on camera. You definitely want to know, if you do certain looks, what that's going to look like. One, it'll make you much more confident because you already know what works for you. What works for one model is not going to work for the next model, depending on, your body type, your height. So it's definitely important to make sure that you're getting in front of the mirror just so that you can check some things out. And so the way that I like to practice facial expressions and things like that, I basically, I just like to see how everything is gonna look. So, I might give a look like, but then I'll hold that facial expression and then just kind of see how it looks if I look off. What is my neck doing? I can kind of look back at myself in the mirror if I, move around kind of like this. What is my neck doing? How is it reading, on camera? What does my face look like? Then I have an idea. Or sometimes I'll just get into, doing different facial expressions. So I'll kind of just look at myself in the mirror and I might do something like this. Get your hands involved. Hey guys, Kay from the future here. So I'm realizing as I'm editing this footage that I went into a little more detail than I wanted to about how I practice my facial expressions. It was more so that I just wanted to express the importance of practicing in general. I'm gonna have another video that comes out that details how I specifically practice my facial expressions, so just be on the lookout for that one. But again, I do like to just kind of hold one of those expressions and then see, like, does my neck look too strong? Because there are definitely times where even with just your collarbone and everything, and I am looking up just to kind of see what I'm doing a little bit, but should I not do this so much? Does it look bulky right here? Or maybe how can I soften it just a little bit so that I can see the difference? But I cannot stress enough the importance of practicing your movements. Even full body, of course, that was just kind of for a facial expression, but full body, you definitely want to see what things look like. When it comes to hands, they can look really funny on camera at times. So I've done hand modeling a lot actually, and so it really is beneficial to see, like, does this movement make my hand look really big? Or, if I bring it into the frame, what should I do with it? Where could I place it? Where it looks nice, bring both hands. And then that way, when you are on camera, like I said, or, when you're on set, then you're confident with the movements, you're confident with what you look like, and you already kind of know how it's going to come across. And another thing that I like to do on set is I never stop moving. So even in between shots, I'm always kind of moving around and getting myself into it a little more, playing kind of with that space, because there are going to be times that the photographer sees something that they're like, ooh, do that, or ooh, yes, remember what you just did right there, because we're going to come back to that or whatever. But then it kind of feels like it takes the pressure off of me if I'm constantly thinking about what those movements are, what it could look like, but because I've practiced, then I kind of already have an idea of how it's going to read. So I think that is one of the biggest tips that I could give you is practice, practice, practice. And then for the fifth tip I have, shoot as frequently as possible. So as a new model, you're definitely going to get people that come at you wanting you to pay. And I'm not going to say that it's not a decent, well, not decent, but it's a good idea to invest in your images. But when I started off, I did not pay for any photo shoots. There are plenty of photographers that are out here that need images as well to showcase their look or their work. So it's not that difficult to find people that are willing to do TFP. which is time for print, basically, where you're just trading your time for those images. And then shooting frequently will again get you more confident. It'll get you used to being in the camera, working with different people, seeing how different people you know, what they want. I get some photographers that I've worked with that are really good at giving direction. They know what they want on set, but then there are going to be those times where, you know, it's up to you to either inspire them on set, or it's up to you to just kind of know, like, you know, if they say that this is the look that they're looking for, whether it's maybe more editorial or more commercial, then you already, you know, you'll know how to do those looks. One, because you researched. Two, because you've practiced them. But then the more that you've done that, it becomes a lot more easier. You know, you kind of get rid of those nerves. Of course, first starting off, I think I was super eager about modeling. My mother got me into it when I was really young, and that will be a whole separate video because I do want to go into how I kind of got started and what route it's brought me to. But I would definitely say just make sure that you're also being careful, right? So you have to have discernment, and you have to just really do your research on whoever that person is that you find, or whoever reaches out to you. But regardless, shoot as much as you can. Those photos may not always, you know, at first they're not going to be maybe the quality that you're looking for. And again, that just kind of depends on who you're working with and who you find. I know for me in particular, if I can find some of my old photos, I'll put them on there. They look crazy now to me, but of course it was that starting point, and then it gave me an idea of, you know, the quality that I was looking for after a while. And those things will come. You definitely just want to keep going, keep shooting, keep practicing, keep picking up those different skills that are going to be really beneficial to you. And yeah, don't be scared. Definitely get out there. Again, look at those websites, the agencies. They have the information on there when it comes to the images that they're looking for. And to be quite honest, a lot of those agencies are not even necessarily looking for you to have a book already. It helps. It's definitely beneficial. It kind of gives them something to go off of. But when it comes to submitting yourself to agencies, for the most part, they just want like Polaroid style pictures. So I'll be sure to link some extra information in the description, and let's chat in the comments if you have any questions, or if there's anything that you want me to address in another video. I'll definitely do that. But I hope you guys found this to be informative, and thank you so much for watching. If you did find it to be informative, again, and there's more information that you want, leave it in the comments below. I also will have my Instagram in the description, so you can go there to check out some of my work and see what I've done in the past. And you're more than welcome to reach out to me on there. I do respond for the most part. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Okay, and once again, my makeup is done by Miss Victoria. I'll be sure to have her linked in the description below as well. If you're in the Dallas area, be sure to check her out. She always does such a great job. If you watch my Leatherology video, then she did my makeup there, which was bomb as well. Shout out to Miss Victoria. Thank you, girl.